What is up, Disney nerds? Today, I just saw Violent Night in the theaters. This is going to be a spoiler review since it's been out since the whole weekend, and it is Sunday night. You know how my reviews go. I'm going to discuss what I liked, what I didn't like, and I'm going to give you my whole, rankings of this whole movie and stuff, and how I feel about it overall. Starting off, what I really liked about this movie is it's honestly just a fun time. There is a lot of action in this movie, so if you're really into Die Hard, or you really liked Home Alone as a kid and you want to see it more graphic, this is the movie for you. This movie's pretty much kind of like a version of Home Alone if it was kind of Die Hard-ish. It's very graphic, and there's kind of I'm gonna go into spoilers here. There's a whole scene where it's just a monologue of the young girl in this movie, doing a whole Home Alone scene. And when I first saw it, I was like, alright, obviously this isn't gonna go anywhere. She's just trying. But, oh my god, that was probably the most graphic scene of the whole movie. Going into the graphics of this movie, like the gore, this is definitely a gore-ish movie. If you like gore, this is kind of a movie for you. It's kind of like a Christmas Terrifier 2, but very, very minimal compared to Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 is way out there. But this is definitely a gory movie, but it's funny. So I really liked it. And I was a bit squeamish, but not too bad. So if you're nervous about blood and stuff, this movie is very bloody. But it's honestly nothing awful. But going into what this movie really is, this movie is a Die Hard movie where, it's Christmas Day. The family is just a bunch of a-holes, kind of like the family from Knives Out in a way. And then there's obviously the good guys that are trying to get away from this family. The husband, a wife, and the daughter. And obviously the husband and wife aren't just doing good, they're on the verge of breaking up. And this is kind of cliche movies for this type of genre. But then all of a sudden, big giant scene happens where they become hostages and stuff, and they're wealthy, this family, for $3 million, I believe, or 300 million. I think it was 300 million. And this guy's trying to get it. And I gotta say, the acting in this movie is awful. In my opinion, the only good person acting-wise is David Harbour. Everyone else, the little girl's acting, I was laughing at her acting, and I mean, it wasn't bad. She did pretty good, but you can't say. This movie is very if you go into it expecting it to be bad, acting-wise, and just overall a good time, lots of murder, you're gonna like it. So overall, plot-wise, I'm going 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's a really good plot. You got a hostage family, and they're wealthy. You see this a lot, but what's cool about the plot is you got Santa Claus coming in, and, it's just very graphic and gory, and it's a fun time. That's why I have the plot 3.5. I mean, it could be better. It's a dumb plot, lots of dumb loopholes and stuff, or plot holes, but, it's really good, and it's enjoyable. Acting, I'm going 2.5 out of 5. The acting in this is just awful, and we can all accept it. You're not really gonna find good acting in this movie, except from David Harbour, in my opinion. David Harbour is the best actor in this movie. But besides that, I really couldn't care about the rest of the cast. If David Harbour was not in this movie, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. Visually, I'm going 4 out of 5. CGI blood and blood stuff, effects and killing wise and stuff like that, it could really be, hit or miss. You get Mortal Kombat from back in the day, or some of those Final Destination movies, and they use some blood, and it's just oh my god, that looks awful. This actually, it really works, it's really good. The head decapitation scenes sometimes you see in this movie are just oh my gosh, that just happened. It's crazy. you know, it's just really graphic, and they do it really well. Like, I'm impressed with this. I'm not quite sure if it's CGI or practical effects, but if it was CGI, I mean, it was pretty good CGI. And if it was practical effects, they did a really good job. All right, score, like soundtrack-wise, I'm going 4 out of 5. You know, there was a scene where it was a giant montage of David Harbour just wiping out a bunch of military, and you got just a Christmas song in the background that's kind of like, you know, like a happy, cheery song. That's really good. It always gets me. Like, I feel like the soundtrack throughout this movie was really good, nothing boring, and it kind of went with the movie, obviously Christmas, and Christmas soundtrack in a Christmas movie really gets me. Now, action-wise, I'm going 5 out of 5. This was just action-packed, just an action movie, and you know, it was really good. I mean, like I said before, there's a lot of kills, and those are only 2 that came to mind. And there's really some funny stuff in this movie. Like the guy gets his finger broken in a funny way with a nutcracker. There's just a lot of action, you know. There's a guy that also gets like stabbed in the eye with a star. It's just insanely over dramatic, and I'm in it. I'm in for it. That brings me to enjoyment. Enjoyment 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this movie. There were a few scenes that just got me going like, oh, and some of the acting I was kind of like, oh my god, this is really just. But overall, I was expecting it to be not good acting, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it more than what I thought I would actually. I thought it was really good, pretty funny. I really enjoyed it. So now, overall, this movie, I'm going 4 out of 5. With all the categories, it's really estimates down to 4 out of 5. You know, it's just a really good movie. I think you should watch it, and if you enjoy like Die Hard or Home Alone, like I said, I think you're really gonna enjoy this movie. If you watch this movie at home, I'm going maybe 3 out of 5. And if you watch this movie in a theater, it's 4 out of 5. I think you're going to have more of a better experience watching this movie at a theater compared to watching it at home. I definitely think you should watch this movie. It's so good. Definitely a Christmas movie because it is Santa. I would consider it also, though, an action film. It's definitely more Christmas movie than what Die Hard is. I really like it, though. Alright, so that is my review of Violent Night. Let me know in the comments below if you saw this movie, what you thought of it, if you liked it, and if you didn't, tell me why you didn't, and if you did, tell me why you did. Please make sure you ring the bell for notifications for future reviews or videos like this. We are almost at 200 subscribers, so please subscribe and comment down below and like the video and share with your friends so we can get more views. Yeah, with that being said, Disney it out. Peace!